Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be going over an Hublot, a model known as the Tutti Frutti Apple, reference number 341.PG.2010.LR.1922. Sometimes they add the word Apple to the end of that, but that's basically what it is. We'll be going over the case, the dial bezel, the crown functions, chronograph functions, and the strap, and I'll be giving you my thoughts as I wear them. The watch at the end of the video. Now, first of all, we'll be doing an unboxing to show you, well, how much I actually appreciate Hublot and their packaging design. Now, rather understated on the front, just a sort of like nice reflective foil for their logo on the front there. But as you open it up, it's actually a little bit more than that. All right, so here's the box with the watch inside it. We have the warranty card on the inside of that little sleeve. And actually, let me open this up here, because this is another interesting point that we have about the Hublot packaging here. We have sort of this porthole on this front here, and that's very much basically what you get with every Hublot watch. Not just on the box, but also the watch itself. You have these H-shaped screws as you would find on the bezel of every Hublot watch. So, very interesting there. And also, with that porthole construction, what you can do is effectively have your watch on display as you keep it nice and protected within the box here, all right? So anyway, here's the watch itself, nice and wrapped up, all right? There you go. And I'll be opening this up in just a moment. Let me put all of this back here, because this will be in the way if I leave it out here. And always remember to wrap it up nicely as how you receive it. Okay, I can set it off to the side here. All right, now here's the watch itself with the hang tag there. All right, and a nice green alligator strap. All right, I'll be opening this up now. Taking out the watch. All right, and there it is. All right, we also have, I believe, some protective plastic on the front, yes, and on the back here. All right, nice and gently. All right, and there's the watch itself. All right, and let me also remove this hang tag here so we don't end up smacking ourselves. Okay, there we go. Hang tag removed. And now we have the watch right in front of us. Okay, so this is the Tutti Frutti Apple. Now, what makes this such an interesting watch? Well, it's not so much the dial, it's not the fact that it's Hublot, well, Hublot just doing Hublot things, or just the fact that this is all rose gold with a greenish overall presentation, but I think it's the bezel actually that makes this the most interesting part. More on that in a moment, but anyway, we're starting off with the case here. We have a 41mm case from finger to thumb. All right, that's the diameter. We have a thickness of 14mm, so quite a chunker, but that's basically what you get with any sort of sports model. This definitely being one of them, a sports model, definitely. Okay, we have this rose gold, 18 karat rose gold case construction with sort of like this ceramic insert here with the bezel gasket as well. Okay, let me zoom in here so we can actually focus on that. All right, so you have this nice sort of matte finish on this ceramic, very nice touch to counterbalance this very nice high polish rose gold. All right, nice high polish along the sides there with the vertical brush finishing on these lugs, both the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock sides. Okay, so, and I also measured about 51 millimeters in height when it comes to the lug-to-lug distance. A little bit more than that because you do have this strap that does sort of flare out a tiny bit, not much more, but basically the inside will stay within that 51 millimeter distance. Okay? Now taking a look over here at the bezel, now this is what I find to be the most interesting part of this watch. Now you would think that these would probably be emeralds and you wouldn't be too far off. These are actually known as Tsavorite gemstones. They're sort of a part of the garnet family, not that much softer than emeralds themselves, which are basically pretty darn close to diamonds. These are all baguette shaped, and I believe there's 48 of them, if I counted correctly. 48 of these green Tsavorite stones. Now, I believe that's what makes this much more of an interesting feature of this watch, because even though Tsavorite are actually far cheaper, you know, much less expensive than emeralds, it's actually far rarer to find these. So Hublot have actually gone far and out of their reach, or far beyond the reach of many other manufacturers, because it's much easier to find emeralds than Tsavorites, and to have so many of them all regularly placed on this bezel makes it that much more distinctive. So quite an interesting conversation piece you'll have on your wrist at any given moment, because anyone would ask, oh wow, are those emeralds? You can easily say no and say it's actually rarer than emeralds at a fraction of the price. So take that for how you will, but a very interesting point nonetheless. Now taking a look here at the dial, we have this sort of matte white dial. It's not highly reflective, and all the reflection you'll really get are basically from these Tsavorite stones, as well as the sapphire case front here on the front and also on the back. As you can see, the movement through the back of this case, all right? Both of those keep the water out. I believe you have a waterproofness of at least 50 meters. Actually, no, 30 meters actually, or 100 feet. So I wouldn't take this further than, you know, your backyard swimming pool. Definitely don't go to the deep end of an Olympic diving pool, but, you know, certainly you can wear this for most situations, even though it is considered a technical sports watch. Well, I don't know that you would really take this out to the beach or to the community pool, but you know, you can certainly wear this within any sort of watery situation. You can probably go under a waterfall for a few seconds or so. But anyway, don't take this deeper than surface swimming. All right, so taking a look again at the dial, this is a matte white sort of white finish on the dial, sort of a matte finish, so it's not highly reflective, but that's okay because we do have these applied Arabic and index hour markers, Arabic being for almost all of the even numbers, minus the 6, which is taken up by the 12-hour chronograph, the 30-minute chronograph taking up the 9 o'clock position, and the small seconds at the 3 o'clock position. All right, all of this constructed in red gold, as you can see, to prevent tarnishing, so you have that long-lasting efficiency within this watch. All right, now let me actually demonstrate some of these functions here. I believe it is a pull-out crown. Yes, it is a pull-out crown. All right, so taking a look at how this works, we have, there we go. There's your minute hand, slightly skeletonized on the inner portion, but still loomed near the tip, all right? And while I'm here, let me just turn out the lights a bit so you can actually see that luminescence. Again, only really on the hands, not really anywhere else. And by not really, I mean not at all. Okay, so take that for how you will. It's not all that effective when reading in the dark, but you know, you still do have that luminescence should you need it. And it should be just enough for the light coming off of the hands to reflect off of the sapphire crystal and back onto the dial. You can't see it on I'm not seeing it here on my monitoring, but I can see it with my bare eyes. I can see sort of that green glow just showing up. And so that's actually a very good feature there of the white dial, because it allows you for that extra contrast, that ease of readability even in the dark. So you actually don't need these hour markers to actually shine forth with their own luminescence, because the thickness of these hands, these sort of cathedral style hands, makes it very nice, very easy to read this dial because of the whiteness and the slight reflective nature of that sapphire crystal on the front. Makes it all that much better. All right, now if you'll note that, actually, let me just do this a little bit more nicely here. Okay, so at the very base position of the crown, this is basically your winding position. So you can wind this watch at any point, you know, just take it off your wrist first, because you don't want to add any additional stress to this this winding crown. All right. Also, an interesting little note here: the winding crown and the pushers are actually outlined with this 18-karat rose gold. All right, so very interesting feature there. Gives it a very nice pop and sort of a nice accent among all of this greenery here. All right, so pull out to the first position, and this will actually allow you to change the date. I believe it should change. Okay, so rotating it counterclockwise will advance the date. It's about somewhere between a quarter and a half turn to advance the date. So if you're a time traveler, it's not the easiest method of changing the date, but for months that do not have 31 days, it's a pretty easy little set there. Just go with your index finger along the back there from the bottom to the top, and there you go. You're on the next month already, right? Nice black font, very modern font on that date aperture at the 430 position, all right, with a white background, black text, easy to read, no problem there. And it's also not actually all that high on the visual hierarchy scale, because it does sort of blend in a little bit, but it is there if you need it. So very good there. And also let me mention here, also pretty low on the visual hierarchy scale, I just noticed this, it's the minute and second track on the periphery there, and that's actually very useful for the chronograph, the center mounted chronograph hand, so you can actually keep track of the seconds numerically and quite precisely. Okay, now pull out the crown to the final position, and you'll note that the small seconds hand does actually stop, and if you try to engage the chronograph, well, it won't do anything, because simply all of the mechanics have actually stopped within the watch. So you can then set the minute hand and place it precisely where it needs to go based on the seconds hand, synchronize it up to an atomic clock, press it back in, and nice and easy. Okay, now taking a look at the chronograph functions here, we have basically your start, stop at the top, and your reset at the bottom. Okay, so press the top button. Very deep actuation, so you have to press it in to actually click it, and it's more of a crunch than a click. All right, so if you're holding on to this, you will have to actually bolster the 8 o'clock side to actually press this in to its full actuation. All right, but that is also a very good protective feature, so that you don't accidentally bump this if you're actually trying to keep track of something in terms of seconds. Okay, now as this goes around, we're going to have a very slow movement of these subdials, because these don't actually tick forward. They very, very slowly move forward. As you can see, the 12 o'clock hour dial, or 12-hour dial, and the 30-minute dial have not actually stayed in position. They're not going to tick forward once this reaches the 12 o'clock position once more. So a very nice little feature there to have. Very nice gradual overall look when it comes to using the chronograph function. This center mounted chronograph hand does have that the Hublot H logo, letterform logo, as its counterweight, so very good and nice touch there, so you don't forget that you're definitely wearing an Hublot. And how could you forget when you're wearing something like this? It's Hublot, just doing Hublot things, right? Once you stop this chronograph hand, you can actually press the bottom pusher to reset it. And while it's running, there is no flyback function, so you can't really reset it on the fly. You will have to actually stop it first to actually reset it. Not that that's an issue for most people. Okay, now taking a look at the movement here, let me zoom out a bit. We have the Hublot caliber HUB 4300, which beats out a vibration rating of 48,000 vibrations per hour, composed out of 278 parts with 37 joules, right, and a VPH or 4 hertz vibration rating. It has approximate power reserve of 42 hours. Now, taking a look at this over here, you can see through the exhibition case back, you can see all of the internal workings there with this bidirectional winding rotor. So basically you can just wind the watch by using the crown at the 3 o'clock side to wind it, and simply wearing this on your wrist will keep it wound up to that maximum 42-hour power reserve. All right, so very good there. You can set this down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday morning. You may need to wind the watch on Monday morning, or just touch it up a bit on Sunday, and you'll be good to go for the rest of the week. All right, now taking a look at the framing here for this watch, we have this sort of dual type of strap, this inhumanly green, extremely green, unnatural value of green here. This will easily disappear on a green screen, I'm pretty sure, but this is an alligator leather, all right, on the top with matching green stitching with a rubber underneath. All right, so this gives it a very, very comfortable feel on top and on the wrist. Okay, and also looking at the clasp, we also have 18 karat red gold in keeping in line with the overall presentation here. All right, and we have a double button deployment to open it up, and you have the H-shaped logo on the inside there, inside of this fold over clasp with the minderless system here. So simply feed the other side of the strap through, press it in to the corresponding little pins there, and having 2 pins there adds to the extra security. So if you have 1 pin, it's more likely to wobble around, but if you have 2, it's staying secure. Okay, and while I'm here, I can actually try it on for you and give you my thoughts as to how it wears on the wrist. Now, I sized this a little bit larger than I would typically wear it, but that's okay. All right, now taking a look at it on the wrist here, 41 millimeters, a little bit big for me. I have a 7-inch wrist in circumference, but if you have a larger wrist, this will definitely fit very nicely. This is marketed as a ladies' watch, and well, I can't disagree, but I can't fully agree either, because the size is just absolutely massive. If I'm looking at it face on, I don't see the bracelet at all. I don't see the strap at all. I just see case and dial. Not that that's a bad thing, because it does have that wrist presence. So the smaller your wrist, the bigger the wrist presence, in terms of size at least. All right, and also on my wrist, 7 inches, it actually fits quite nicely. There's not a whole lot of space under these lugs here, especially at 12 o'clock. The 6 o'clock, a little bit more space, but not that that's an issue, because I do enjoy having, you know, this breathing ability. So breathability is a huge factor for me when I'm wearing a watch, because I do like to wear my watch all day and not really have to think about it and think about, you know, having to take it off, because I don't like sweaty wrists, and I'm sure you don't either. All right, but when it comes to the overall look here, the aesthetic here is quite unique, because, well, it's again Hublot just doing Hublot things with these very interesting Tsavorite stones, giving it a very nice conversational feature here with this interesting red gold presentation, almost complementary, but also analogous in its overall presentation, because you do have sort of like this orangey color, which is sort of close to yellow because gold is yellow. Green next to each other on the color wheel, kind of analogous in its presentation, but the redness makes it more complementary. So it's complementary and analogous in its color presentation, at least. So you have that green with the white shining forth, with the red sort of dropping into the backdrop. Not that that's a bad thing, because red gold, hey, you can't say no to that. And with the ceramic, and also I believe there's also some titanium construction within this watch. You don't really see it anywhere, but it is there, I believe, within the internal workings, giving this a very incredibly light presentation, a very light feel, a very light wear on the wrist. So you're not really going to feel this wobbling or all around on your wrist all that much, and I certainly don't really feel it. There is more weight in the case, not as much in the strap, but that's okay because it's incredibly light for what this is. 14mm thickness, it's not going to slide under a suit cuff that easily, but you will want this showing because this is an absolute banger of a watch when it comes to the overall look. The aesthetics are just so unique, something that Hublot does. Avant-garde in its presentation, and you know, who can't? Well, there are people who will just absolutely hate Hublot for this, and you know, I can't blame them because this is very, very out and about, very high contrast, just a very loud presentation overall. But when it comes to Hublot, you can't go wrong with being, you know, perhaps the only one in your county to have one because, well, they don't really make these all that frequently, and this is certainly a discontinued model at this point. So, you know, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Do you like this watch? Do you hate it? Would you buy it? And if you would, well, click the link down below. You can certainly purchase one from us at jazztime.com. And be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch, again, click the link in the description below, jazztime.com, and you know, just hit that buy now button, secure your copy today, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.